Good morning, welcome back to Bifida blog. It's day 43 and well, it was an eventful day yesterday, which is probably why nothing really got blogged. So let's recap. Yesterday he had his shunt put in, which was all a bit unexpected initially, but we're hoping that it might do the job in terms of releasing some of the pressure and it might help, in effect, help the breathing difficulties that he's been having. Louise has already rang to say that ENT wanted to maybe get a trachea done and dusted, but she's putting a halt to that, and they're going to try and talk it over and perhaps give him 48 hours just to sort of see how he goes. He had about a half an hour blip just as he was extubated after the surgery, but even then he's recovered with a little bit of paracetamol that they've been giving him. And so yeah, we're yet to sort of really see what happens if he does get agitated. We've not had that scenario yet, but well, I mean, hopefully we won't have that scenario, but like I say, all babies will get agitated at some point, so we're probably going to have it at some point, and it'll be how he copes with that. Louise has been sort of saying that sounds like he's got a sore throat, and that's not surprising. If he's been on ventilation and that the tube that they have to put down there, if he's got a slightly smaller throat anyway, you can imagine how that could easily get sore, along with the fact that he's been struggling through this last week or so anyway.
Give me salad. I'll be going to special care, make sure that the space is ready, and then I had a call at 3 o'clock in the morning to say that they had extubated Noah about 5 minutes previous. He tolerated it quite well and was going to sleep. When I went over about 7 this morning, the nurse said he did have one period of time where he was desaturating about half an hour after coming off of it, but they gave him some paracetamol and he settled down. His stridor was described as being intermittent, but not as severe as it had been. When I got there to see him, he was asleep and settled, and there was some noise, but not much. Lots of people asked me whether I thought it improved or whatnot, and I said it was very difficult to say because he was asleep and not awake and distressed. Well, anyway, they decided to move him back to special care from the intensive care side room. And in transit, he just woke up and became extremely distressed again. Loud stridor, thoracic chugging, intercostal recession, all the usual signs. So the ENT guy had already been before this happened and said that he wanted to do another MLB, which was the camera down the throat, to see whether there had been any improvement from having the shunt. And then they'd consult me after they'd done the MLB to decide whether a tracheostomy was necessary or not. Now, we were reluctant to rush into a tracheostomy because we knew the neurosurgeons wanted to avoid it if possible. So the plan was to do the MLB and see what that showed, but give him a good 24 to 48 hours to allow the shunt to have taken effect. However, because he went downhill so rapidly, when he woke up and his breathing was just as laboured as before, if not worse, the neuros, the ENT, myself and the neonatal consultant both decided that it would be in Noah's best interest to have the tracheostomy fitted regardless. So he's just gone down now about half an hour ago. So yeah, that's the update. I'm okay. Obviously I'm a bit daunted about the tracheostomy, but we'll learn. whatever's best for Noah, and we can't carry on seeing him struggling like that, so it has to be done. I guess the saddest thing for me was saying goodbye, knowing that when he comes back, he won't be able to make any noise. That's the last time I'll hear him for at least a short period of time. So yeah, that's definitely the hardest part.